All right, let's do the quick mic check. Hey, Des, good to see you. Yeah, yay for no ban. I know, right? Okay, I think that sounds all right. All righty. Software, everything seems to be up and running. Uh, Let me get my camera selected. Hey, Heather. No one wants to see my nip slip. Yeah. It's uh my gosh, auto modded. Wait, you got auto modded? Oh, Heather did, maybe. All right. Good to see you, Heather. Um, okay. So this is what I'm gonna, no, I'm kidding. I'm not painting, obviously. I'm not painting that. I have to get my board in place. I just have to tape things onto it. Heather, yeah, Heather got auto modded. Thanks for catching that. I am just gonna tape my board to my other board and then I'll be ready to start painting. But not like usually it's a bit slow to start, so I don't mind taking a second to do this while I'm preparing. Um, what does Heather asks I did? What does that mean? It means the auto moderator like flagged your message. Um, like it automatically there are certain words in auto, the automation that they have set up to like catch people who are saying bad things or who are spamming or all kinds of stuff. Uh, Probably for the nip slip thing. Um, who knows? Sorry for your filthy language. Yeah, should be. You know what's funny? I can't show it, but I'll probably post it somewhere at some point. But if you saw the painting now that I did on Thursday, you would see like it would be clear that what happened was none of that before. It was just this stupid automation that they have it to like detect things. Just obviously thought it saw something that it didn't, because if you saw it now, you'd know what I mean. Uh Samaj Thomas says, "Hey there, Leon. Great work on the piece for the Portrait Society. Thank you. Appreciate that. That was a delightful view on the process. I'm so glad. Great work, though. You always deliver. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad you liked it. You know, hopefully I get an like an honorable mention or in the runoff gallery or something like that. Like they have like last year they had like two different like runoff galleries. So it was like I think 25 and 25 people in each one. Um, and the prizes for each one were different. I forget what it was. I think one of them got just like free. They got to go to the convention for free, and one got like free online viewing of the convention or something like that. I don't think the prizes are all that great, which is perfectly fine. Although I would like to go to the convention for free. That would be nice. But yeah, the just having it up there on their website where all the other artists, who go there look at those galleries, that would be amazing. But there's always a chance, there's such good artists that go there, so that it's not a high probability, but you never know. You never know. Um, but I do appreciate the support. I'm glad you liked the video. This week this painting I'm working on right now, or I'm gonna start on today, is going to be the first painting for the new week. Uh, I was hoping to be farther ahead than this, but it's back to the grind and back to like never hitting the 5 a week goal that I want to hit. But at least I'll be pumping out videos again. So, you know, there's that. Heather says, unless risque news, I was working on some homework for the acrylic class, and the cat hopped on the table, putting her foot into the lemon yellow paint. It's non-toxic, but I washed most of it off. That's good. And I hate to say this, but it's worth remembering that like what's non-toxic to us doesn't mean that it's not toxic for her. They can be a little cats in general are a little more susceptible to some things. Having said that, the pigment is probably not an issue, and the paint also probably isn't an issue because it's plastic essentially, so she should be fine. Heather said the vet said she should be fine with a yellow paw for a bit to watch for vomiting, but she seems okay. Yeah, I'm sure she'll be fine. Look, I have a cat who unfortunately likes to eat a lot of things he's not supposed to, and plastic and paper and all kinds of random things. And you know, we try to keep him safe from himself. Um, and definitely try and make sure he doesn't eat things that like ribbon and stuff like that, string. But you can't you can't lock up everything in the house. It's impossible because he'll literally eat like just anything. So yeah. So she should be fine, is what I was trying to get at. Hey, Don Lee, welcome. No ban hype. Yeah, I know, right? It's good. For anyone who does have pets and is using uh, oil paint, if your cat or dog gets into your oil paint, there are I think Dawn soap works pretty well for oil, but also like coconut oil or cooking oil will dissolve the oil too. So you can use stuff like that as well. Um, I know you're not doing oils, Heather, but you know, for the people who are, I thought I'd mention it. Donley says my cat is part goat. Yeah, he really is. I actually two of my cats because one of them. Sorry, I'm gonna move off camera for a second to fix my camera. Um, but yeah, one of my other cats has I think uh, what is it, pica or something like that, and she likes to eat like she'll chew the carpet up and eat eat that. So yeah, the freaking cats are weird. Des says my daughter's cat jumped on my art table and walked across my palette, but I just covered it in plastic wrap so he didn't get oil paint on him. Thank goodness. That's good. Donnelly, cat didn't die. All right, sorry. So um I actually might be changing. So some streamer nonsense stuff real quick. I use OBS for streaming, as do many streamers. Uh, I might actually be switching to a different software, or at least I'm going to try the different software and see what it's like. Um, I don't know if it'll work with my particular GPU because I think they're smaller, so they only work with what's it called? Um, oh geez, my brain is not going to work today with NVIDIA, and I don't have an NVIDIA GPU, but we'll see. Um, I'll try them out and see how it works. But yeah, all right. Sorry, I forgot to set this up beforehand. That's on me. Apologize for that. I just totally forgot that I had to set this up before I started streaming. It says, "Oh my God, I think we're all having brain to finger problems today." Yeah, I've been really out of it today, so I totally feel that. I don't know if everyone else has, but just really, really out of it. I don't know why, but yeah. All right. I hate having to do this. The way that this thing works every time is just so clunky. Yeah, setting this up is very clunky. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to try this new software and see. Maybe it looks really good and easy to use. I just don't know that it'll work with my particular hardware as well. Um, but yeah, let me see if I can find the name of that software, see if anyone else has tried it out. Okay, that looks pretty close. Let's see. It's not perfect, but All right, good enough. Sorry about that. Um, Wait, Des says my post on YouTube is being blocked? What? What post is being blocked? And aren't you a mod? You shouldn't have a. You shouldn't have an issue with that. I don't see anything. Uh, yeah, I know, but I won't send. There's a black square next to my post and it won't send. Really? I I don't understand it. I can't even see that. I don't see anything. That's the one thing that I find extremely frustrating with YouTube streaming is the way that the moderation works. Like the moderation tools, I almost half the time I don't even see them. So I can't even moderate my own chat. Like I can ban people, no problem. But other than that, half the time I can't do anything. Okay, so Des says, okay, so I deleted what I was saying, and now it works. Yeah, it works. Donley says I've had some strange things like that on YouTube before too. Yeah, I don't know how their moderation works because like I can't, like I said, I can ban people, I can put them on timeout, but a lot of times I don't get the notifications that like someone's trying to do something or that, like if someone sends a link, I don't get that either. I don't know. It's very frustrating. Camera, stop moving, please. So yeah, it's very, very frustrating because I want this experience to be good for people, obviously. This says I'm going to test some words I used. News, idiot, sleep. Uh, my eyes are having issues today. Real stress, no idea why it wouldn't let me post. I don't know. Was it a very long post? Because there is a character limit. Okay, I'm super sorry, but I have got to put eye drops in. Literally, like my eyes are blurry at the moment. I'm trying to read chat and my eyes are just blurry. I used to not be able to put eye drops in at all, but over the years, out of necessity, I've gotten really good at it. Oh, I don't know if this interests anyone, but I was looking at printing options to see if I can start offering prints. Michelle has a printer and we can do prints here. But I was also looking at some ones that integrate automatically with my website through Squarespace. There'd be print on demand, but I might be offering canvas prints or something. We'll see. This says I'm getting paranoid. The other day, I randomly said the name of someone in political news, and my tablet sprung to life. It was on my desk in sleep mode, and the little circle was spinning in the corner. Uh, I'm not quite at that paranoia, although I just do assume that they're listening in all the time, um, because that just seems to be like, you know, what companies are doing. They're finding ways of spying on us all the time, unfortunately. But yeah. I forgot I need to get my big brush, so I'm grabbing that real quick. Donnelly says that's disturbing. Yeah, it is. Um, I don't know. A lot of things, just a lot. There's a lot of things, unfortunately. But we don't have to talk about that. We'll focus on art here. Take a little bit of a break from everything else and just focus on some painting. Because I don't know about you, but I get enough of the other crap everywhere else. Donnelly says, woohoo, art time. Yeah. What am I painting today? I am going to be painting a portrait of a model that I found online. But the big thing today is going to be the look I'm going to try and achieve with this painting. Uh, so much, much looser, um, you know, I don't want to say painterly because I think like I already paint painterly, but much more abstract elements to it and stuff like that. I don't know how successful I'll be at that. I don't It's one of those things. I think people think sometimes that you you know, on a dime kind of switch up how you paint. Eh, and that's not the case. And it's not exactly like switching up how I paint. It's just trying to lean into certain elements a little more to push aspects a little more and just make some, movement into those directions. Uh, oh, thanks, Donley. I appreciate that. My Twitch title is wrong. Thank you. Let me fix that in just a minute. Can mods change that? I don't know. Can mods change that? I don't know, honestly. Sorry, I have to clean my palette. I didn't realize that some of the paint is dried on it, so I'm just doing that. Hmm. Des says, yeah, but we aren't mods, lol. Uh, title Sunday. Wait, you're not a mod? I thought you were a mod on you're a mod on YouTube, but you're not a mod on Twitch? Who's a mod on my Twitch? Nope, we're not mods. Huh. Uh, Okay. Oh, that's funny. No need to do it now. Yeah. Well, it didn't pop up right away, so it's not happening now anyways. Oh, I hate that sound so much. Sorry, some of this paint's a lot drier than I realized. All right. Yeah. So yeah, today I'm just going to be working on a portrait. Like I said, it's like I'm not saying I'm going to replicate or try and like copy this artist, but I am looking at for inspiration. I am looking at Zin Lim for inspiration. He's a pretty well-known oil painter. Um, like I said, I'm not saying that I'm trying to copy him, but I'm just looking at his art as like inspiration for this. If I was going to copy him, I'd probably do a study first of his paintings, but uh, I haven't done that. Also, I'd have to look into his style a little more. Uh, Sometimes the process of how you paint something really helps produce the look that you get from the painting. So knowing someone's process is sometimes super helpful if you want to paint like that particular artist. Not always. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the process, or sometimes you can find other ways of, you know, recreating it. But sometimes, yeah, the process is super, super important. Like there are some artists that you cannot paint like them unless you actually paint like them, like with the same process, the same like techniques, because their techniques are what give their painting that particular look. And without that, there's just nothing you can do. And most of those techniques aren't exactly like secret or anything, but they might not gel with you. Like there's definitely painting techniques and processes that don't, gel with me very well. So I don't paint like that. All right, let me change the title for my stream. Um, Thanks, Don Lee. I appreciate it. Yes, that is their Instagram, Don Lee. For anyone who's curious, this is the artist I was talking about. Thanks, Don Lee. Appreciate it. Alrighty. But yeah, his paintings are gorgeous. I love his paintings. But like I said, he has a process to his art that I don't think I could replicate. There's a bunch of artists like that where like I just don't think, for whatever reason, like I don't think that my brain is comfortable painting the way that they do. Maybe I could work towards it. Who knows? But you don't have to, do that all the time. So I don't think it's necessary, you know. All right, so I'm just putting on some oil right now because this board has a weird um, texture that makes it very like it feels very dry in the beginning until it's covered in oil. So I just covered in oil first. Very thin oil, to be clear. It's very much like oiling out type of thing, like very, very thin. Just to kind of get into the nooks and crannies a little bit. I don't want there to be too much oil, so I'm going to wipe off the excess and also try and get any dust off that might, dust or hairs that might go get on there. Oh, before I forget, um, just look this up real quick because I think I have the software right here. Um, yeah, so the new software I am looking at is Meld Studios. It's still brand new. It's in beta, I guess. Meld, MELD Studios. That's the new software I'm looking at. Hey, French fries. Happy Sunday to you too. Welcome. How are you doing today? Donnelly says, I haven't heard of Meld before. I'll check them out. What's different about the platform? It's like streaming software like OBS. So what's different is wow, you guys cannot see that at all. Um, oh, let me see if it starts. Oh, it kind of starting to pick it up. Um, it's just there are some things that are easier to do on it than in OBS, because in OBS you need plugins for certain things, and you need all this stuff. Like setting up certain things on it is more difficult. Meld seems to be easier in that you can see the dark red I'm putting down. Okay, great. Yeah. Just seems to be a little easier for certain things. Unfortunately, I don't know if it'll work with my GPU because I think they use, I know that they're like, they support NVIDIA GPUs, but my GPU is not an NVIDIA GPU, so I don't know if it'll support that. And I don't know if it'll support AV1, which I like for streaming because it cuts down on my bandwidth requirements. So I don't know, there's a bunch of like technical stuff. But those things aside, a lot of the features in it, just seem to be kind of designed to be very easy to use type of stuff. No plugins for a lot of it, just, built in. So like the camera warping is one of them. Because I obviously I use that a lot. And I have to use a plugin for that, and they supposedly have something built in for that. Stuff like that. So that's why, in setting up multiple scenes, easy in an easy way. I don't know, things like that. So we'll see. I'm gonna look into it, try it out. Also, I was helping out Dylan from Dylan Sarah's YouTube, and he's trying to figure out software to be able to do like uh, like streaming with other people remotely, like call-ins and stuff like that. And he was having some technical issues. I was trying to help him out with that. We're trying to figure out like what software. And I don't know if Meld works well with that, but I was trying to figure that out as well. So yeah, just all that stuff. And it's free. That's the other thing. It is free. I'm not going to switch over to anything that costs money unless I were making actual money from this, which I'm not really making a lot of money from my streams. So Dunley says, ah, free, my favorite price. Yeah. But it isn't open source, which always worries me when something is free, right? Because it's only free for so long, right? It's free until they need to start making money, and then it's either free or you have to upgrade, and so on. And like that worries me. I mean, for instance, I use Notion, the program to kind of organize things and so on. I use Notion, and that's free for, individuals. But they do charge for like more features. Um, but if they suddenly turned around tomorrow and were like, oh yeah, now you're going to have to start paying, I'd be like, okay, well, I guess I'm not using the software anymore, but that really sucks. And you never know when that's going to happen, unfortunately. That's why I do like open source projects and stuff like that. Although, if I'm not mistaken, OpenAI, ChatGPT, they were supposed to be an open source thing, and then they were like, oh, money. And so as soon as they as soon as they started, making a lot of money, they're like, "Oh yeah, no, we're not doing that anymore." Donnelly says it was the plan all along. Probably. Probably. Yeah, there are companies that can use the open source and the free, free things as a. It's remarkable how they can use it in a negative way. Um, you know, like it sounds great, but then there are nefarious ways of doing that. But yeah, whatever. The one thing about working on these black panels that I've found is that I really need to go in pretty early and put in some of the brighter colors just to give me some perspective because the black panels can make it really, really difficult to gauge my values if I don't put in some white to begin with. And it's not always going to be in the right place or the right color, but it just gives me like a value to kind of shoot for. It's like it suddenly puts everything into perspective a little bit. Conley says free asterisks for the price of your firstborn if no child for babies are accepted. Right? Yeah, something like that. Um, computer cooperate. It's really funny how like dark this color looks here, how bright it looks over here. I think that's really pretty funny because of how like just how um you know how much our perception of color is influenced by the colors, not just color value too, is influenced by the colors around it. It's really quite something. By the way, French fries, if I forgot to ask, how are you doing today? What are you up to? Are you painting along while I'm painting? I still need to do some Discord group chat stream things. I just finding the time is always the challenge. It was just a side, like my brain just was thinking about it, that's all. Like if you're painting while I'm painting, we're painting together. And I need to do those like paint together things. Anyways, that's just how my brain was thinking. Doing great, filling out job applications right now. Oof, I hate filling out job applications. I do like the websites that let you like fill out the job applicate like your information once and then reuse the same like application for multiple, you know, jobs and stuff like that. But too often it's like, oh, great, you can easily apply and do this thing. And you're like, great, let me do that. And then you do it and half of it's wrong. And you're like, ah, damn it, I gotta manually fill this in now. French Fry says, this survey will take between 30 to 60 minutes. It was 300 question long. Oh my God. That's crazy. That's insane. With how rigorous that is, I would assume you're applying for something like really important. But then when I think about how like certain people get into like really important places without any qualifications, I'm assuming that it's the opposite and you're actually just like applying for like being a bag boy or something with how like inverse the things are. Um, Nothing regarding you. It's just like with how inverse the proportion of like how rigorous the um, application process is versus like how important it is. It just seems to be like the opposite. It's for a banking job. They want to make sure you're trustworthy. LOL. That's fair. That's good. I mean, that is good. Glad to hear that because you know, you have access to all kinds of really delicate information. So that's good. But yeah, I guess Walmart has such a high volume of applications. that they have to filter them out somehow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, all the companies, all the big companies now use um, AI to like filter out applicants. That's why the thing to do it now is to use AI to fill out your application. So they're using an AI to sift through the people, and the people applying are now using AI to apply. Soon it's going to be automated. You're going to hit apply. Your AI will do all the application for you. Then their thing will do all the calculation you know, and turn you down. And it'll just be like almost instant. It'll be great. It's just going to be I just love the idea of the future just being a bunch of computers talking to themselves for us. AI arms race them out. Yeah, I know. I just have this idea of the future where like the AIs are just like busy with themselves and everybody just stops using them. Conley says, and then your AI can go work for their AI while you sit at home and dust off your servers. Yeah, right? Exactly. Like I have this idea that it's gonna, we're gonna get to the point where it's like, they're using AI in military too, of course, right? So they're going to use AI, we're going to use AI, they're going to use it, and it's going to be a literal arms race of AI. But eventually, it'll get to the point where it's like instead of like attacking each other, because that's time consuming you know um, and expensive, the AIs will essentially run simulated wars and just tell us who wins. No one's actually fighting. It's just simulated wars at that point because, like, what's the difference? Might as well. I don't think that's actually going to happen, but that's like the preposterous vision I have of where things are going. Donley says there was a great OG Star Trek episode about AI simulating wars. Believe it or not, I believe it. French Fry says it just play 1v1 Rust to determine a war. Yeah, exactly, something like that. It's getting silly. But I mean, it really is headed in that direction a little bit because like they're coming out with like the AI assistants that can make phone calls for you. And they already have the AI programs on the other side to take in phone calls. So literally just robots talking to each other at this point. So yeah, it is getting a little silly. Des says Ender's Game. Um, Dunley says it was exactly like you're describing. Interesting. Dunley says, and when the machine said people died, they had people line up and go into a machine that killed them. Oh, that's like actually killing people. Yeah. I think I might remember that episode actually. It's sparking some memory, Donley. Yeah, it's just silly. Yeah, Dunley, you're actually sparking some memories, and I think I remember some vague details about that. It was like they considered it more civilized or something that way. Yeah, but the war had been going on for like um, decades or something because it's so civilized. They had no problem like keeping it going for forever. Something like that, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Donley says sounds right. Yeah. You triggered a memory, Donley. Donley says, well, my work is done. How was your stream? I thought I saw you streamed, was it Friday? Oh, and Thursday. Yeah, the day I got a 1 day ban. You saw, I think you saw it on Discord, but yeah. Um, but yeah, how'd your streams go, Donley? For those who don't know, Donley streams on Twitch. He does digital art for the most part. Sometimes he does some variety stuff, but for the most part, it's digital art. It's a lot of fun. You streamed Thursday. You saw that I got it. Yeah, it was just whatever. Like I said, it was a 1 day ban. Ban is such a strong word. I think suspension is more accurate, given that it was like for a single day, um, because of the supposedly showing nudity in my painting. I wasn't intending it, but whatever. I'm not going to argue too much about it. I haven't finished the painting yet. It's a commission. You know, it's I have a lot of issues with the commission. Like it's a friend of mine who I know. I've done work for them before. It's for a comic book cover. Um, I don't think we were quite on the same page when we were talking about like the vision of the commission, which, it happens sometimes. Sorry, my links don't work, Don. My like automation stuff doesn't work. Donley's trying to tell people to join my Discord and in what's it called? In Twitch, on Twitch, there's these commands that you can give and it like pulls up stuff in the chat, but you have to set the commands up, and I have not. But there should be a link to my Discord in the description, either on Twitch or YouTube. And if you're not part of the Discord, join the Discord. Come hang out. We talk art. People share their work. We share video links to good YouTube videos, and I notify people when I'm online, and a bunch of other stuff. Thanks for the thumbs up, Donley. Also join Don Lee's server if you want to follow him. His server is way busier than mine, uh, which is generally a good thing. Um, so yeah, the, check him out as well. All right, let me take a quick break. Let my camera cool down for a second. Donley, I would tell you to put and you're welcome to put a link in the chat, although it's kind of pointless on Twitch, um, because you can just click the name and go to your Twitch. I would say you can put a link in my YouTube, but you can't. And for some stupid reason, I can't approve it. Why? I don't know. It's one of the very big frustrations I have, but oh well. One day I'll figure it out. All right, let me transfer that over to my computer real quick. That way I can see how off I am with everything today. Your painting is giving an Erica Badu vibe at the moment. Erica Badu, that sounds familiar. Let me. Oh, not sure if the name is right or the spelling. The singer. Yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can totally see that. It's not her, but I got this image off of um Unsplash or Upsplash or whatever it's called. Stock image website. But on Tuesday, there's a good chance I will actually be going out and taking photos of local people at one of the local art galleries that I go to. Um, so I might actually be able to get some of my own photos of, my own photo reference to work off of, which would be great. She was always into hats, head wraps, etc. Oh, she's not actually wearing a head wrap. She's just, well, okay, take that back. She is wearing a head wrap, but let me check, actually. It's mostly her hair, though. She's got big, big hair, which I'm a fan of. Let's see. Donley says, "Ooh, taking photos. That's great." Yeah, no, it is fantastic. Um, I love when I get to take my own photos. I'm not the best photographer in the world, but they still, I don't know, there's something so much better about the photos that I take for reference. With a few exceptions, right? I mean, obviously there are some amazing photographers out there, and I am not one. And there are people who go out to like, special events and special things, and I'm not comparing to that. But for portraits, for little stuff like this, it's a huge, huge thing. So yeah, you can't really see the thing that's wrapped in her hair, but she has something that's pulling it back and holding it up. But yeah. Des says, it's March. I have to figure out what's going on with photos for the portrait project. Yeah, you do. Des is going to be working on this portrait project that she worked on before. It was just in a year, and I think it's fantastic. And we have a little friend. Preston. Hi, little boy. Hi, little boy. Oh, ow. Yeah, meow. Say hi, Dresden. Oh, you're such a cute boy. That says my sisters always think there's tons of time. Yeah, you really gotta get ahead of that stuff. You don't want to leave it for the last minute. I don't know if you can see it, but he's kneading me gently with his paws. It's very subtle. He's just doing it just gently with them. Oh. It's a shame you can't hear him purring. The what's it called? The noise gate and everything that I have set up so that you don't hear every little click and sound is getting in the way of that, unfortunately. Why are you licking my nose? Oh, he saw himself. He sees himself in OBS. It's just you, little boy. Don't worry about it. Oh boy, you're usually not up here for this long. Yeah, you must really want to hang out with me. I wish he would be willing to stay in like a what's it called? Like in one of those like slings or bags or something like that. Um, because I would have him here on me and paint. He has gotten scared by his own image on my monitor in the past. Yes, he has. He's not right now for whatever reason. I don't know why this time he's not, but he has in the past. If if I could just have my left hand free, I would paint with him like this and pet him while I paint. I would totally do that. But he's not willing to hang out in those, you know, those like bags or the baby slings or anything like that. At least not yet. Maybe as he gets older he will. That might change. Although the hair, oh my god. I brush him daily. I'm not kidding. I brush him daily. And there's still so much fur that comes off of him. Okay, he wants to get down now. I think. Or not. Or not, apparently. Dresden, I'm in the middle of streaming. I have to paint. I'm gonna have to change the title to Cat Time. I see my mic jumping. Is some of the purring coming through? No. Okay, he's done now. I need to turn his tail into a brush. Aw, I wouldn't do that to him. Plus his hair is too soft. Hmm. All right, so some of my stuff was a little off on placement, but not like terribly off. Oh, that's good. Aw, Tristan, baby boy. He just wants pets right now. He's sitting on my chair. He just wants me to keep petting him. Little boy. Donnelly says, I mean, you could put a brush on his tail so you could have a collaboration stream. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. I apologize. I could do that and claim, and like make it into a shtick where it's like fine art, the painting cat, type of thing. I could do that. That nonsense. There's this account online that I follow, and he covers a lot of things like that where it's like, you know, high art type of stuff, and he just roasts them. He also shows like good artists and good stuff, so it's not just a negative account, but yeah, it's pretty funny. It can be very frustrating, some of the things out there that are like, you know, super successful and stuff. You're just like, oh, come on. I'm sure you've all come across that, but yeah. Yeah, it can be frustrating. But at the same time, it's a little encouraging. A little. And the reason I say that is because it just goes to show that like, you know, anyone can kind of succeed. That's not entirely true because I think like a lot of those people who succeed in that like nonsense art related stuff probably have connections and backers and stuff like that that like the normal people don't have, and that's why they're able to succeed versus like everyone else. But it's a little encouraging. Trying to look at the bright side. Yeah, I don't know. I I have definitely have like a pessimistic and negative side to me, but I am trying to be overall like more positive and encouraging in general. So, um, making a bit of an effort in that regards. That's going to need some work. It's definitely not accurate, but I might need a smaller brush for some of that. I don't know why. This happens to me a lot. I'll paint in the eyebrow, and then when I go to reference it to see like how close was I, it turns out that I like the bottom line for the eyebrow is actually where the upper line is. So I basically just shift the eyebrow up or down the width of the eyebrow. I've noticed that a few times now. Donley says I've had that issue before too. Yeah, that's funny. The eyebrow thing, yeah. Might just be one of those things that like artists tend to do. There's a thing I can never remember the details of it, so I always mess it up. Um, but it's like um, people people who are right-handed uh, tend to drop one of the eyes, um, but I can't remember which eye it is. And people who are left-handed tend to drop the opposite eye, for whatever reason. Like when they're, you know, drawing a portrait or painting someone. Like I think I don't know if it happens as much when you have reference or when you're just drawing from memory, because this is something that I came across when I was more into comics. So I don't know if this is like as common in fine art or, portrait portrait painting when you have reference. But yeah, it's one of those things. And I don't know if I do that anymore because like I've been working at it for so long. So it's hard for me to remember. But yeah, it's funny. We have some of those tendencies built in. That says, "Oh wow, I haven't heard of that." But I see dropped eyes on so many portraits. Yeah, absolutely. Very common. The other thing that's very common is if someone's painting someone whose head is, to the side, is like at an angle, or if it's at an angle and turned, people have a tendency to slowly, as they iterate, like kind of center everything and bring it back to like center, which can really mess up the portrait. But that's a more common one that more people are aware of. Have I been watching any of the portrait of the artist master classes? I watched a bit and then I lost the link, and I was looking for it the other day because I wanted to watch another one, but I forgot where I put it. It's in my Discord and the inspiration chat. Thank you. Totally forgot where it was, but that makes sense. I thought it was in my Discord and I went looking for it and I couldn't find it. And then I was like, was it in a personal chat? And then I went and looked for that and couldn't find it. And I was like, wait, was it on Instagram? And then I was like, okay, I'm done. I'll look for it later. And then never did. Have you been watching them, Des? Christian Hook did one. Looking forward to it. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I think that's what made me go and want to look it back, look at it again. You know, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see, I guess. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing it though. One thing I kind of struggle with like we'll call it, fine art is like how um how much like I don't know. I don't know what to call it. Like there's just like I want to use derogatory terms, but I don't feel like that's entirely accurate. But there's a lot of stuff that like just I guess doesn't really resonate with me. Um, I maybe for whatever reason, I'm just like so a lot of the artists that I like tend to be artists that don't talk in that way or don't, discuss their art in that manner. But portrait artists of the year, they're not always like that. They can be a little much sometimes. This is okay. Dogs wouldn't leave me alone. Had to put them away. Dishes. They're such nags. Yeah. Because I hadn't put away dishes. Got it. It's more like they're probably looking for food, Donley. Donley says tidy dogs. Yeah, they're probably looking for scraps. But yeah, I did like Hayden. What is it? Hayden? Christian Hook. Christian Hook. That's it. Christian Hook. I forget his name, but I did like his artwork when he was uh, on the show. I was actually a little like that's one thing that I find a little frustrating. Some of the artists on that show, like you see their art and you're like, oh, okay, let me go look them up online. And you go look them up online and they've got like nothing, and you're just like, okay, how do you make money? Like, what do you do? Like you got a huge boost from this show, and now you don't seem to produce anything. What is happening? But what do I know? It's them. They're running their own business after all. I don't understand. I I love painting noses, but I do find them very challenging. I think I find noses more challenging than eyes most of the time. It might be because of the size of the paintings I'm doing. That might be a factor. Because noses get a little easier when they get a lot larger. think I'm going to have to use a smaller brush soon. I'm trying very hard not to swap off my large brush so that I can stay loose and brushy with everything. However, I might be getting to the point where it's actually making it harder, not better. Colors aren't 100% accurate. I am definitely pushing some of the colors around, but you know, nothing wrong with that. Part of the reason I'm going a little lighter in some of the shadows is because um, I want to bring in, I don't want to say, I mean, there's already bounced light. It's not 100% black, but um, when we look at, when we're seeing people in person, we see more detail in the shadow areas, unless we're in like really pitch, darkness or bad lighting. But if you're in good lighting, you see way more usually in the shadows than the camera has a tendency to capture. So by lightening up the shadows a bit and adding, some of that in, it gives the appearance or the feeling of that. So it doesn't feel as photographic. There's nothing with making your paintings look like photos, but that's if you want it. There's a there's an artist. I'm trying to remember his name now. Um, and he makes his photos look like he Polaroids because I think he does actually paint off of Polaroids. And no, I'm not talking about Jeremy Mann, who also uses Polaroids. This is a different artist. Um, who his paintings really look like Polaroids. Like the lighting is very flat. Like he might not use Polaroids, but it looks very flash photography. He usually doesn't paint the people's faces too much, and it's like all these scenes where like people are like in the middle of like not everything, but it's like a lot of nightlife, a lot of like dark environments with like flash photography. I can't remember his name right now though. But yeah, that's a like I said, he doesn't paint the faces much either, so it's it's all a choice, of course. But my point was like, that's definitely a look you can go for. That's definitely not the look I'm going for. Interesting. I'm making her neck too long, but it's not actually the neck that's too long, it's the shadow here. I have to bring in some of that muscle from the, was it trapezius? Maybe not. I get my names confused. Anyways, I have to bring that muscle in to to make her neck look appropriate. But yeah, to do more stretches. Ah, there's your daily reminder. Do more stretches. I'm reminding myself and probably almost everyone who watches me needs that reminder too. Not everyone, but most. Hey Ike, welcome. How you doing? Doing good, thanks. Glad to hear it. That looks a bit like pastel on paper, does it? That's funny. It's not, but that is funny. I can kind of see it when I look at it, on my screen. I get it. I don't know how I would do with pastels, honestly. I definitely would hate the dry pastels. Anything that produces like dust and dirt like that, I would absolutely despise. Um, just like I hate all the dust and everything. Like I stopped drawing with charcoal because of that. And like charcoals, for anyone who isn't, who hasn't practiced with charcoals, is a fantastic medium to work with, especially for like practice and stuff like that. It's like a way of painting with uh, dry materials that are cheap and easy. Yeah, they're great. Uh, French fry says you don't like charcoal? No, I can't. I hate it. It gets on everything. I can't. I hate that. I know I'm a bit much with that, because I'm not the tidiest person in the world. It's really weird. It's like I am definitely not the tidiest person in the world, but it's different. The difference is like dirty versus tidy, like having stuff on my hands. I don't like it. I've done a ton of charcoal drawing in the past. I still have some charcoal materials for when I want to ever, get back to it. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since I touched it. I'm not a fan. So I don't know that I'd like pastels, although I know that there are soft pastels, and I don't know what those, how those feel. Des says, you have said you have ADHD, or was it just dyslexia? I can't remember. Sounds like you have sensory issue like me. I have both dyslexia and ADHD. Um, yeah, that's probably why I'm not a very tidy person. I feel like if I didn't have ADHD, I probably would be a very clean, tidy person. Like my room would be very, very tidy and everything. But maybe I'm wrong. I feel like her hair is has like I think that hue is right, but the saturation isn't. And I don't have to have the saturation perfect, but it's messing up my perception of it. Obviously, her hair isn't blue, so I'm definitely messing with the colors. But I feel like for whatever reason, the light part of her hair is messing with my perception. Maybe because it's too like flesh colored. Which, is a thing. Like if the fleshy teeth is a disgusting way of putting it, but like, yeah, when you're painting people who are smiling, a lot of times using the same color for their teeth in the beginning is a great way of blocking in everything. It looks gross. That looks better though. And I will be putting in some detail and more color into it as I go. This will give me a good base for that, I think. Actually, you know what? This brings up an interesting question. Um, Des reminded me. I meant to ask some friends of mine and never got around to it. But um, I don't. I have a general question for you all. When you drink like water, just regular water, whatever, if you like cold water, tap water, whatever. When you drink water, if you ever drink it out of a mug, obviously mugs are generally for hot things. I get that, for tea and so on. Aside from that, like weirdness where you're not used to drinking water from a mug, like a coffee mug, does it seem weird or feel wrong in any way? I'm just curious. I'm curious if how other people feel. Because personally, aside from the weirdness of it just being like not the glass, not the type of cup that I grab for water, the texture is wrong to me. And I thought that was a universal thing, but maybe it's not. Uh, Des says no, everything is better in ceramic mugs. That's funny. Ike says no. Okay. Well then, thank you for answering that. It's great to learn about one's own brain. That's funny though. French fries says no, my grandparents don't have glasses in their house because they were elderly, so I grew up drinking exclusively from mugs. Interesting. Do you find drinking out of glasses weird now? Or does it not matter to you? Ike says, I used to think water in a glass was colder, but I figured out after a while it was just me thing. I could see that. I could totally see that. That makes sense to me. It does feel colder in a glass than in a mug. Contra says, I find drinking from glasses is a cold drink kind of thing. Absolutely, I agree. Heather says, I think water out of a mug feels weird. Water out of a glass feels fancy. I usually swig it from a plastic bottle, uh, like the scum I am. No, well, I mean, I drink out of, cups with straws most of the time. But yes, I get what you're saying. Yeah, the texture, drinking water out of a mug just feels wrong. Like the texture of it feels wrong. But apparently, I don't think that's necessarily the most common uh, thing. Or, yeah. Like, I think that a lot of people would, like, I would rather drink water or soda or cold drinks out of a glass of, plastic bottle, plastic cups, even, um, than a mug. Yeah. I think one of the things I hate the most to drink out of um, is those paper straws, though. I hate those things so much. Like, whoever invented that and pushed that forward, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. Ike says paper straws are diabolical. I agree. I agree. Yeah, I, I agree. Hi, Dresden. What's up, little boy? What's up? He's looking at me like he needs something from me. No, he's just gone back to licking himself. As cats do. Bye, Dresden. Uh, that's silly. Wow, those 2 hours flew by today. That's fun. Trying to see what, where I need to work and everything. All right. Also, I have mixed feelings about the metal straws. Like they feel fine to me for the most part, but it's very, I don't know. If like there's something weird about the metal straws. Also, I'm worried about accidentally like the potential like hurting yourself with them and also cleaning them's a pain. I mean, my plastic straws are also a pain, but at least if I have to throw them away, I don't feel as bad versus the metal ones. I don't know. There are these straws that like they're like I think silicone or something, and they part. They have like a seam in the middle, but they have a way of like folding and clasping, but apparently it it's not a perfect seal. I was looking into it because I was like, maybe I could get something that's easier, to clean or something. I don't know. But yeah, the seal isn't perfect, so you're slurping in a bunch of air when you're, using them, which I'm not a fan of. Donley says, I never had a metal straw before, but I think it would be a bit strange cleaning them. I suppose you need a pipe cleaner thing to wash inside. Yeah, you do. Yep, you need a pipe cleaner type of thing to wash inside. And they're a little weird because like if you're drinking something cold, um, they can get the straw itself can get very cold if it's like in a lot of ice, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. Um, but there's a thing. Um, and then it's just like there are a couple stories of people who have like, had accidents where they were, you know, walking and tripped or someone hit them or bumped into them or whatever while they were drinking. And, the metal straw in your mouth. So, or about to go in your mouth. And those that can cause some problems. So there have been some injuries with them too, which is of course unfortunate. Somebody says, "Oh, that's a good point. You could keep metal straws around for drinking home defense." Yes, yeah, exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. You can actually get. It's surprising how much you can get injured from a regular straw too. Or if it's not a regular straw, then like a plastic straw, like the reusable ones, like I have. But it's still not, it's still not metal. But yeah, I mean, it's not like the biggest thing to be worried about. But if you are, for instance, a very clumsy person, who has a tendency to like, it might be a bigger concern for someone like that. I do enjoy the anatomy of necks a lot of times. They're challenging, but often very, you know, very fun to paint. Alrighty. I was planning on going a little bit longer, but I can feel my focus waning, which means I need a bit of a break. Not like a huge break, but enough of a break that I'm not gonna put the be right back on. Um, Also, it's almost 5. I should probably eat something that isn't just Oreo cookies, because that is literally the only thing I've eaten today. I woke up at 12, so it's not didn't exactly wake up early today, but still, I feel like I should probably eat something too. Yeah. All right. Um, but yeah, thank you everybody for hanging out. I appreciate all of you being here. French says, see you, Leon, get some rest. Good night. Um, Heather says, all I've eaten is seaweed snacks. That's not a lot of food. See those seaweed snacks. Yeah. But yeah, thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you for being here. I will definitely be back on Thursday. We'll see how many other streams I can fit in during the week. Um, and hopefully new videos are going to be coming out this week as well. If everything goes right. But yeah, have a good night, everyone. Have a great rest of what's left of your weekend, and have a good week. And I'll see you later.